Alright, so anyway, welcome back. Man, this title screen is trippy. Anyway, it's epilogue time. Many, many years later. Several years passed, you see. Oh, darn it, I'm still in the desert. Bro, what happened to... Bro, this version of Stanley is like 307 and dehydrated as hell. What is this? Is something gonna happen, or am I just gonna eternally rot in the ethereal abyss? Whoa, hello. How? Why? I'm in the desert. Do I need heat? You fiend, moon. One day I'll have my revenge on you. I don't know what the moon did to me, but that's a feud I have now, apparently. Alright, well, at this point, it's just a straight sandstorm. The Krusty Krab pizza is the absolutely Squidward. That's all I think about when I see sandstorms, I'm sorry. You! I'm getting closer, Moon, to the inevitable confrontation between us. Come back to Stanley screaming at the moon. You! Ah, son, we meet again. Oh, it's the ruins of civilization. Is that the memory zone? It looks like it's the memory. What is that? Oh, can 2x speed walking, please.
Yeah, the sheer speed of it all. It's funny because for you it's 2x speed, but for me I'm still trying.
Good evening. Ah, the bucket. Yo, it's this property of Stanley. It's the bucket. I knew I'd meet you here. I knew it all along. Me and you. Two times speed. Boy, I sure do love trotting. Why is there a generator? In loving memory of the Stanley Parable 2. Oh no. Oh my. Where does it lead to? What secrets does it hold? What is that? It's a review. Cookie Nine's blog. Like so many, I enjoyed my time with the original Stanley Parable, which underscores how truly disappointed I am with its sequel. Where the first game teamed with originality, the Stanley Parable 2 is dull, uninspired, and often insulting to its fan base. Rather than expand what made the first game enjoyable, the sequel veers off into territory nobody asked for. An infinitely deep hole? Who cares? Where are the new endings? What about enjoyable bits from the Stanley Parable 1, like the adventure line? Instead we get an uninspired side quest collecting figurines. Even the diversion feels incomplete. Collecting all the figurines gives you nothing. I must say, I found the bucket to be quite comforting. Of course you did. Of course you did, Cookie Nine. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. Oh my, it's the buttons. Can I push them? Jim. Jim. There are more buttons? I see light. Oh yes, perfect. Jim. You agree with me, right, on the premise? Jim. Oh, I can't press that one. Jim.
Stanley.
Oh my god. Well, that had effects I was not prepared to be a part of. Go read the blog. And we're just gonna pretend we didn't hear that. Stanley Parable developers, no more spin-offs, no more sequels. When the Stanley Parable launched in massive success in 2013, its creators made plans to build the property into an entire franchise. But a disastrous critical and commercial reception to the Stanley Parable 2 has prompted the developers to rethink their ambitions as outlined in a press release they published today. It's clear that more Stanley Parable is just not what the fans want, reads the press release. We thought that we had a vision for the series that players would be excited about, yet it turns out this could not have been further from the truth. The press release goes on to promise to preserve the artistic integrity of the original game and to stop assaulting fans with our reckless and insulting creative visions. The word sorry appears more than 25 times in the press release. What at the lowest? Yeah, I'm pushing the Stanley button again. You can't stop me. That is immense that that's there.
Stanley.
Oh my god. Oh no. Hey guys. Can I collect them again? 19 out of 60. Yes. The intrinsic pleasure of it all. Alright, well I now have 26 out of 6, so I'm absolutely killing it. What's in the pit? Oh, it's an office building. Of course it is. Oh, he's sitting down. Stanley went on to push several buttons. Oh, it's you. Hey, friend. How you doing? It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you, too. But it's terrible to learn that there will never be another Stanley Parable game. Did you read what the developer said? Preserve the integrity of the franchise? What nonsense. The Stanley Parable is not sacred. We do not need to protect it. Screw the legacy. Let's keep making Stanley Parable games until the sun explodes. Let's run this franchise into the ground. Let's drag it through the mud and back. And if people hate it, who cares? You see, that was the narrator's problem. He was so obsessed with what people thought of his work. Don't make his mistake. Don't cling to the legacy. Let it burn. It's not hard. In fact, let me show you. Together, we are going to make the Stanley Parable 3. It's simple. All we do is change the number in the game's title screen. We also need a really dumb subtitle for the game, something loud and gaudy. Go ahead, try combining some random words together to make a new title for our game. The Revenge of Love. Scary Love. Oh, Whisper of Ice. Oh, the Moon. My Nemesis. The Revenge of the Moon just feels accurate for my stupid joke. The Stanley Parable 3, The Revenge of the Moon. It's absurd. I love it. Every time we restart the game, we'll advance the number of the sequel by 1, then we'll pick a new subtitle. That way, the Stanley Parable will never end. And nothing in the game itself will change when you do this either. Adding more content sounds like work. No need to do that. It'll just be the same content recycled again and again and again with a new title screen. What do you say? Should we go forward with this plan? I like it, but I want you to have a say as well. Let's do it. Good, then it's agreed. A new sequel every time you start the game. And you know what? Since you put faith in my idea, I feel like giving you something as well. You see, I'm noticing the narrator never found a way to give you the broken trophy, did he? Of course not. I wouldn't expect him to know how. It's been bothering me. Let's fix it. Alright there, the trophy machine is all fixed. See, I'm on your side. We're in this together. We're going to keep this train rolling. The Stanley Parable cannot end. It can only spiral in on itself. Forever. I must keep the wheel turning. I'm ready. Are you ready? Great. There's only one last thing we need to do. Please enter the current time. Sure thing, buddy. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Thank you. Please enjoy the Stanley Parable. Revenge of the Moon. What? Good evening. Narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone. Perhaps
Bucket
it's
time.
bucket time.
New content. Oh, the door's open. Expo hall. And I have the bucket. That's going to be peculiar for the man to experience.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and
Yeah,
about
me
how
too.
roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be.
You have no
The
idea.
original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Just put a big 3 over that. Yep.
This is what fans have truly been asking for. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
This counts
But
as
let's
an air
take a
ambles.
look at
We've been
some of
here
the
before.
features
Been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a we're back. than anything scientific or
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I'm about to break the world. About to take so many screenshots.
Like balloons.
I know your
but I'm
scheme now,
undecided on
villain.
Get well someday and happy 12th birthday.
I know
Which
your
would you go
scheme.
with?
That one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
I knew I'd fool you.
On.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. I'm about to shake your world, man.
Wait, there are 2 buckets here. How did you get a second bucket? Oh no, the warmth and comfort of a single bucket is already so great, so intoxicatingly wonderful. With 2 buckets, there's no telling. Stanley, can you still hear me? Are you with me?
Of course. Oh my, the world exploded.
Stanley! Oh,
Oh.
thank God, I didn't lose you. Stanley, the power of 2 buckets was too much.
No.
I had to destroy both of them.
Oh,
I know how much the
man.
bucket meant to you, but I couldn't take the risk. I hope
Man.
one day you can forgive me.
It'll be hard. But I can try. The player says the name of the player. Yeah, it doesn't beat the Stanley button, though.
Is that they want to be individually recognized. Sorry, I should have clarified.
It's still the Jim
now,
button.
The button only says the name Jim. Here,
course.
let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full
Okay.
experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind,
It's
forget
humorous,
whoever
whatever.
you are, and simply become a person.
Everyone close your
named
eyes.
Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Oh, riveting.
Yes! You see! Do it again, do it again.
Doing it again.
It hits even harder the second time.
Tugs
If
at the
this were
heartstrings,
only
plays
new
them in
feature
such a
the
way.
Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
You know what? He's right.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
You hear that,
I'm
Jim?
putting the Jim button away.
No, you
Otherwise,
aren't.
soon you'll start to lose all sense of
No, the hell you aren't.
are.
Stanley, I'm Stanley. Oh, whatever.
Actually save me. An
Epilogue.
epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
No, it'll be
Yes, it would go
philosophy
at the end of the-
brutal.
Well, we'll figure that out later.
It'd be philosophically painful, is what it would be. All right, free, new, and easy trophy. You don't say.
You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
I remember.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy.
Well, then by all
You see,
means.
you'll come to this lever, and when you pull
All right,
it, the
pulling.
trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Hey!
As you can see, the machine is not working yet since... Wait, what in the holy hell is going on? You got the
Holy
trophy.
hell. Yes, I did.
Why did the machine work? Stanley, I didn't fix it. I didn't do anything to it, I swear.
That's
it was
crazy.
broken just a second ago. Who fixed
That's
it?
so
Is
crazy.
someone here? Are we being watched?
Maybe so.
Composure? Composure. Yes, as you can
It's
see,
just
the machine is
down
working
there,
as
Fredo.
normal, as I intended.
Of course.
It truly speaks to the awe-inspiring magic of the
He
Stanley
is
Parable
so
2.
petrified by this.
Breathe. Just breathe.
Well, that's neat. Now I have another trophy. Am I gonna get another one? Out of order. You've been here already. Come on, dude. Still had no jumps. Still
You know
can't.
what? Let's
Still
bring
can't.
the
Still
jump
can't
circle
jump.
back for Stanley
Still
Parable
can't
2 as
jump.
well. It's a... Oh, wait. You
Now, I
already spent
remember.
all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Or where do I buy new jumps?
Oh, well.
You should make it
I suppose
purchasable.
it can just be a nice decorative piece
I'm gonna
then.
kick you in the free trophy. Now that I've done that, there's one more thing I want to test before we're done. Ah, you
All of his
traitor and a
coworkers were
fiend.
gone.
What a guy.
What could it mean? Simply
Bucket
Mr. Memo.
time.
It's bucket time.
Yath.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Now, what happens if I type in
Stepping into his
8888?
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not
I
for
was
the
right.
soothing presence of the bucket.
I was
Even
right.
now, in his darkest
I was
hours,
right.
did
I'm
the
a
bucket's
genius.
warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion.
Who's the
and
real
chaos.
loser?
It would be with him always.
Now, I think there's only one true way to end
All of
this.
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway. Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life, for he would dismantle the controls once and for all. Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And that's all that's important.